Capricorn, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for mid-January 2026. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business, as always, and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Capricorn collective. I hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. And guide, spirit team, talk to me. What do we got for these beautiful Cappies in Capricorn season, mid-January? What energies, messages, insights can we take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. And at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Capricorn in mid-January. What's the vibe? What's the energy? And while we get this card out, I want to once again wish you all a very happy birthday. Whether your birthday's just passed, whether it's still coming up, I hope you have a great one. I really hope you enjoyed. Okay, cool. So this card I always find unique, and I actually haven't seen it in quite a while because the messages that I always pull from it are completely different. Now, first and foremost, it could be a lay low type of energy, which is pretty cool. Now, before we fully dive into it, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the January subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, back into the reading. Let's talk more in depth about this card. So as you can see, we have this lovely lady. She has that wig on and she's like kind of dressed up in costume, surrounded by these birds. Now, these birds to me, whether they're cranes or storks, I'm not sure what the species is, but what I can tell you is that it looks like she's trying to blend in with the crowd. So normally when I see this, it could be someone laying low. Now, hermit mode, chilling, just blending in, not making waves, staying in your own lane. So for a lot of Capricorns, maybe that's a mode you're in right now, not making a lot of noise, just doing my own thing, which could be cool. Now, there could also be someone you're connected to, very quiet when I see this, where it's like I'm just laying low for the time being. For a lot of Capricorns, like any drama might be extra bothersome to you. So especially outside noise or other people, like for me, this is a card that needs a little solitude and quiet, even though she's blending in with the crowd. Now, the other thing I could give you, it's a totally different type of message. When I see this, I think this card is beautiful. And then the fact that she's in costume, it could represent aesthetics and how we present ourselves to the world. So for some Capricorns, maybe you're changing something about your look. Maybe it's your hair, maybe it's your wardrobe. It's like the way I present myself or how people perceive me could be important. So there could be some aesthetic changes when she's here. But aside from that, I like the lay low type of energy. So we're just going to let her chill out right there. She doesn't want to be bothered. Let's get into tarot. And yeah, I always say that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Let's shuffle it up one time here for Capricorn. And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. So the energy to me was very intriguing because it seemed like it was doing something and flowing and going. And then there was like a sudden stop of some kind. Now, that's not always a bad thing. For some of you, it could be a habit or a thought process or a situation where it's like the energy was flowing and someone slammed on the brake pedal. So that could still bleed over for a couple weeks where certain things could just like abruptly stall or stop. But we're going to see what shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else, right? Let's get it going. 3 cards for Capricorn, please. What do we have in mid-January birthday season? Let's see what's happening for our good friends. Cool. Okay. So we got the King of Swords in position number 1. That's a very firm, stern type of energy. We'll definitely want to see what he's all about. Get him tucked in here by the amethyst. Now, that doesn't mean that the energy is a bad thing. Not at all. The energy to me is just like very stern. That's the best way to put it, like a disciplinarian of sorts. Okay, we got the 2 of Swords. So a ton of sword energy in the mix thus far. Let's get one more out here, then we'll start piecing it together. Yeah, air energy is not necessarily a bad thing, and we do have earth, which is good. It kind of grounds the whole thing down. We have the Ace of Pentacles right here on the back end, which could be really good, especially for you. But before we, let's go through, I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes. Then we'll get into that juicy, intuitive stuff. But at first glance, you know, if you watch my readings, you know I always like to look at the elements because that focuses like different areas of life, and it could tell us how energy is flowing. And as I already mentioned, there's a lot of air dominance here with the King of Swords and the Two of Swords. Now, when I see that energy, to me, it's about the logical mind. It's very pragmatic. It's a little strict, straightforward, highly intelligent. So it's like there's something with the mind or mindset going on, which could be good for some of you. It could represent strategy and planning. We just need to look at the deeper layers of the whole situation. And it could just be communication. There's a lot of communication undertones here this week. But the downside to too much air is that it could be a little flighty. It could be a little flaky. It's a quick moving type of energy. It could also be very stern, serious, a little cold and detached. So we want to look at it further. Now, on the back end, we have your power element, which is earth. So when I think of earth, I think of our sense of security or our sense of stability. It's usually a predictable energy. It could represent money, work, finances. It could represent home and family. Whenever I see earth, I think of the physical world around us. And since it is your power element, that's a good thing, right? The downside to earth, sometimes it could be a little stubborn. Sometimes it could be an energy that doesn't move too quickly. Remember, this is a suit of longevity. So we have this energy here that's very quick, very rapid. And this one is like very long lasting. So we want to get into this deeper. Let's go through and start building this out piece by piece. Position number one, King of Swords. Now, something I always say about all kings, they represent control of their respective suit. And we already spoke about what the swords mean. So when I see the King of Swords in the first position, it could be an air sign you're connected to, of course. So Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. If you're not connected to any of those, the king is trying to bring structure to the mind, where it's like, no, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm thinking about. So that could always be a good thing, especially if your mind's been getting away from you. The King of Swords is highly, highly strategic. So whenever I see him, maybe you got something in the works. Maybe you're planning something. I've been seeing that throughout the whole zodiac this week, where it seems there's a lot of people strategizing and planning, which is common at this time of the year. Could be observing things, and we do need to look at the clarifier for it. But I always say when the King of Swords is here, he means business. It's very serious. If this isn't an authority figure of some kind or someone in a perceived position of authority, it's very firm, very serious. No nonsense, no games. Straightforward to the point. So that's where we're starting here with this. Big card of clarity or wanting it. Now, we're going to get him tucked back in under this amethyst piece. And as we move to the middle, we're still in the same suit, but we have a totally different vibe showing up with the Two of Swords. Now, whereas the King of Swords is straightforward to the point and all about clarity, this one is the complete and total opposite. We see this individual, swords crossed, it's nighttime, there's a moon in the background. So, and the blindfold and the hoodwink, this is a huge card that does tie into the unknown and mystery. Now, when it comes to the classical interpretation, you'd probably see in books and stuff like that, the Two of Swords could represent confusion, indecision, a lot of questions, very unsure type of energy. So like when I see the King of Swords next to this, it's like, let me figure this out. There's a lot of problem solving, troubleshooting when I get the combination of the two. So I like the Two of Swords only in the fact that it just represents something that's not on our radar yet. Now that could be a positive, it could be a downside. Like the downside of this, sometimes there could be a little secrecy, a little hush hush. But to me, I'm just thinking surprise, unexpected, whatever it might be. So we'll look into it further. Now, moving to the back end, I think is probably the bigger, or one of the bigger, brighter spots in the whole entire reading. We have the Ace of Pentacles, beautiful, the golden opportunity from the universe. Now, I always say with all aces, they all represent offers, opportunities. They could be conversations, talks, and messages. So when we have the suit of communication and a card of communication, that is a very big undertone, whether it's you or somebody else. I like this. To me, it's like you got to take this. So if you have an opportunity to do something that you've been wanting to do, the Ace of Pentacles is like, do it. Don't even think about it. Because the downside of this golden, beautiful gift from the universe, it's not permanent, right? Like this is an energy that can dissipate, where aces, they have a lot of potential, but they do go away at some point. So we do want to look at this and see, like, is this a fleeting energy? Good thing it's Earth, because that tells me it doesn't necessarily have to be fleeting. But we got a very intriguing mixture of stuff here, Capricorn. I want to dive deeper on all of it. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here for you, my friends. And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot. Because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that King of Swords here. Oh, and yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Cappy, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, King of Swords time. What is he doing? Yep. Okay. Yeah, this energy just feels like it is not about games. That's like how it feels to me. Like it's not looking for problems, it's not looking for issues, but if one arises, it's like I got to solve it quick. I got to jump into action. So we have the Hanged Man in reverse. Now, these two cards are heavily, heavily connected to planning and strategy. So, for some of you, it could be advice, which I've been seeing for some other signs. Whatever it is you're dealing with, whether it's work, personal life, there needs to be structure to it. There needs to be a plan in place on how you move. But when I see him with the Hanged Man in reverse, it's like, all right, planning is over. Now it's time to jump in. Now, if we are looking at a problem or potential problem solving, it's like it arises, then I handle it. I'm not looking for problems, but if one shows up, I will handle it. So we need to see what shows up in the rest of this reading because this energy seems like it's not playing games. It's not messing around. It does give me that, like, all right, game over. I'm not messing around with this. It's just very strict in its ways, which isn't a bad thing. Now, for some of you, like, sure, there could be certain things you've been dealing with where it's like, yeah, you know what? No, I'm not dealing with that anymore. For some of you, it's just very quick to solve things, which I think is good. You know, I'm a fire sign. I'm an Aries, so whenever I see issues or problems pop up, I like the approach where it's like if it pops up, solve it quick, and that's exactly what this is. So whether we are seeing a problem or the solution, let's keep moving. It just feels like I'm not playing games. That's the best way to put it. So it is that game over type of energy. And again, that could be someone you're dealing with too, where it's like there's either very firm boundaries or just they're very much about their business. Let's go in on the two. Why is that Two of Swords here? This could be our little curveball. Huh. Okay. Yeah. What is this energy? It reminds me a lot of what we saw last week, where it's like boop, it's like I handle it quick, I cut it away quick. If you're a cross watcher watching this for a situation with a Capricorn, I'm telling you, like from the combination of stuff I've seen, there's a very low tolerance in this energy where it's like I'm not messing around. Like so I'm telling you, like if they give you a boundary or something, and it doesn't mean that they're raging. It doesn't mean, and again, this could be for the Capricorns dealing with somebody else. It doesn't feel like I'm raging or looking for problems, but it has just a very small level of patience. Now, the Ten of Swords, it could represent endings. It could represent pain. So, like when I see the Two of Swords and the Ten of Swords combo, obviously this could be an ending that's kind of out of the blue, where it's like, you know what? If I get one little sniff that something isn't above level, I'm out. So, like it's a very low tolerance here. So it's like even making a decision without all the information. So watch out for that too. I like the approach to it, but I also feel like, before you make a decision, a big decision, before you bring a Ten of Swords energy in, make sure you have all the information. Because again, this could represent endings and cutting things out, especially under the Two of Swords. It's like, no, not playing the games, not playing the guessing games. If I get a sniff of anything funky, I'm shutting it down. Like that's how it feels. Like this energy, low tolerance. Shut it down. Shut it down. Seen this before. Let's go in on the Ace of Pentacles because this is where the energy could really take a change on us. But yeah, in the center, it's either again not playing games, cutting something out, an ending of some sort. But it also feels like it doesn't have all the information. Let's go in on the Ace of Pentacles. Very unique. Very, very unique. Okay. So we have the High Priestess in reverse underneath this Ace of Pentacles. Okay, I mean, if there is information or something you're looking for, or understanding this, obviously to me is like, all right, well, you'll get it because it's like we have the action reaction. Hopefully, it's not too little, too late. Now, the Ace of Pentacles, remember, it's offer opportunity, turning over a new leaf potentially. And this card, the High Priestess, if it's not a Pisces or a water sign you're dealing with, she is a huge card of mystery, just like the Two of Swords. She's very quiet, a little secretive, unexpected, surprising, all that same stuff. So when she flips up in reverse, that's like a revelation type of energy. It's like, okay, 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 I'll tell you. Where it's like something's going on and you're like, all right, yeah, you know what, I'm not dealing with it. And then someone wants to give you the information in retrospect. So like I'm getting very specific here, Capricorn. Again, only take what hits for you. but like this feels like I'm doing a personal for somebody here. Like it's just very, very specific. So again, this could be a talk that comes after the fact of something. I'm not saying it's too little too late, but it is like information coming to the surface, revelation, realization, whatever we want to call it. But it's like preemptive and then the fallout. So it's like it's cutting something at the bud or nipping it in the bud or cut. It's very preemptive, like the way the energy shows up to me. So let's go through and do a quick recap. Then we'll get into the shadow here, Capricorn. So that very unique here. But if you kindly look in the box, position number one, we have the King of Swords with the Hanged Man in reverse. So yes, it could be advice from Spirit saying like, all right, whatever it is you're doing, just be very strategic, be very strict in how you're moving. But to me, this feels like a very low tolerance type of energy where it's like, I'm not messing around. I'm not playing games. I'm not dealing with this. I'm not dealing with drama. Just the patience and the tolerance is very low. Moving to the center, we have the Two of Swords with the Ten of Swords. Now, of course, this could be an unexpected, surprising ending of some sort for sure, one that pops out of nowhere. But the big thing it feels like to me is like making a preemptive decision where it's like, oh, yeah, I've seen this before. Like it's jumping to a conclusion kind of. But yeah, it's not playing games, game over type of energy, like very low tolerance. If I see certain things, I'm cutting it. So, but I do still feel like there's more information. That comes after the fact. We have the Ace of Pentacles with the High Priestess in reverse. So whether it is a realization, revelation, or information coming out, it could be all of the above. Um, but to me, it just comes after the fact. So I don't know why that's showing up there like that. But please take a screenshot if you want to look into it further, Capricorn. Let's see what's in the shadows. And yes, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be a good thing too. So let's get you one. And yeah, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel and have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get you your card here. What's in the shadows for my cappies? What do we got in the shadows here? Okay. Yeah, so the Ten of Swords. Ten of Swords in the shadows, same exact thing as we saw, like dead center in the spread. Now, we already spoke about the shadow side of this, and whenever I see the Ten of Swords, it is an energy that a lot of human beings carry. This isn't an energy, although it is air sign energy. We've all been through these moments, right? Like pain, loss, or something that's potentially scarred us. So, with the preemptive energy I'm seeing here and the Ten of Swords that I'm seeing within the shadows, I don't want to use a word like triggering, but there could be certain things that pop up or certain things that happen where it's like, I've seen this before or I've been through something similar. And that's why this energy feels very preemptive. Now, if that's not you, it could be someone you're dealing with where it's like, I've been through something similar in the past. I feel like I've seen this before. And that's just the energy right here. Now, for a portion of you, when the Ten of Swords, if we're looking at a silver lining of it being in the shadows, now could be a great time to dig into shadow work, the shadow side of things, or even, clear out some emotional gunk or baggage. So just know, like now could be a great time for reflecting, transmuting, and releasing certain energies. So we're just going to put that down right there, Capricorn. That's what I have for you this week. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the January subscriber surprise. If you would like further insight on your situation, or if you'd like to see what 2026 has in store for you, you can book a personal reading with me at my website, mastermetaphysics.com. The January schedule's already up, so you could go check it out and see what's available. It's going quick, but for the January subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 3 copies of one of my favorite decks, the Everyday Witches Tarot. It's absolutely adorable and is great for readers of all skill levels. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things. As always, my friends, first, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments from today's reading, which card spoke to you the most? Even if the reading didn't quite hit, which card was giving you those warm and fuzzies or really caught your attention? You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.